Hey, hang on a second. Easy. That's cool, man. Really like that. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications because, well, honestly, it helps me out loads and it's very nice of you to do, so thank you in advance. Now, today we are finally getting a chance to check out Falling in Reverse. I'm Not a Vampire, revamped. I've been meaning to get to this one for a while. You guys have been asking for it in abundance, so thank you so much for being patient. It gets tricky working full-time doing this on the side, but we are finally here. And of course, I know who Falling in Reverse are. I'm a big fan of a lot of their songs, which is why I haven't been able to do a lot of first-time reactions on my channel. But I'm happy to revisit some of those if that's something you'd like me to do. I do know The Drugging Me and The Drugging Me Reimagined, and I loved it. I loved the reimagining of that song, how beautifully stripped back it was, how it was one big tension build and kind of broke at the end into something brutal and even more beautiful somehow. So I don't know if that's going to be the same formula applied to this, but I am very excited. I'm very familiar with the original version. That page. Okay, I'm going to stop there and go back to lead in. Absolutely beautiful start, very stripped back. There's a lot of things I really like about this, and it's all about kind of offsetting expectations, and not just with the original track and then with this version, but in the beginning you heard that really nice powerful choir bit, and you kind of heard the environmental sounds, it's like thunder and stuff, and then quite a sharp stop to that, and then that beautiful piano work that came in. You got the chords hitting with the left hand, you got the lead work running off, and you can hear that beautiful progression. It did sound like there was a nice, I don't know if it was actual strings or if it was just like a kind of synth piece or sound design, but there was a nice low drone there, and it was drifting, really fluid. You can't actually hear, I couldn't actually hear the change in the progression. You could just more hear it kind of slide into its peak. And the minute he started singing, it sounded like there was a much higher version of that sitting on top of the mix. I say on top because of a high frequency. It's just how I see it. It's easier to kind of visualize spacing in mixing when it comes to like frequencies and spatial effects. And what I really like is that his vocal melody, albeit stripped back and less pace to it, it isn't that much different from the original melody. And I like that. I think sometimes when you reinvent a song, you can push it so far it becomes almost a brand new song in its own right. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I like that this is a nice nod to the original, and it's nostalgic. It's very cool. I stopped there because the next piece coming up, I'm a big fan of. I want to see how they do that as well. Very cool. And also, shout out the cinematic effort on this. Always with the visuals. Always good. Always taking in the darkest when I feel like a lower any woman that I want to in my bed with me, and whiskey seems to be my holy water, and mothers better lock your doors and oh shit, timer, my timer. Sorry for the quick pause again. Actually, I'm not sorry. That's what we do around here. Back one more just to hear it again because I like it. I'm a big fan of that part of the song. It's kind of one of those little interludes that lead into like a chorus piece. And I love how they did it in the original with like, I think it was like claps, big spaces in the music. And here, beautiful to bring in the actual strings there. And it's very staccato, very stop-start, very controlled,
thank you so
precise.
much, man.
Nice little gaps in between.
Save that
almost
bad
like
boy.
arpeggio. Arpeggio is like when you take a chord and you break it up into individual notes. You break up that sequence and then you can play them individually.
Holy shit,
Not sure
magical
if that's
sloppy.
the
Thank
case,
you,
but it does
guys.
sound like that. You can hear the progression of it. And to be honest, this is really beautiful. And mothers Hey, hang on a second. Easy. That's cool, man. Really like that. Um, these reimaginings, especially the style that I've seen um, from them with the drug in me, all about tension, building, push and pull, creating atmosphere, building you up, taking you on a journey, dropping you down again. Really like that. Now, a couple of things. First thing I want to mention, um, I can't decide whose hair's better, Paige or Ronnie. Not sure. We're gonna have to figure it out. But beautiful song. He's got a really, I think his vocals are not as appreciated and often underrated because he's a great singer, really good singer.
I think now they are though, buddy.
Not just in terms of his ability, but also one of the things about being a fantastic singer is knowing your strengths and knowing your limitations. And he's pushing himself on a lot of these songs. It's all about the vocal melody. There's a lot of musical mastery happening in the background, but a lot of it is vocal dominance. It's the primary. And you can hear when he's so good at turning that rasp on and creating pain, emotion. He's very, very good at it. I loved how it builds there, especially this part that's coming with more of the choir again. So they brought that back from the beginning. A little bit different this time. It's following that progression. And then you've got the percussive element, which is finally coming. And that sounds like those big kind of floor toms. And what I like about those, again, it's spatial effects. Sometimes it's nice to hear an equal balance of the tonal value of the instruments and the room that it's in. And that's sometimes done digitally. It's not always done, just in a big room. And sometimes it's just done with samples and they're not even actual recordings of that. But hard to kind of say with that, but I really like the value of it because it sounds big. It sounds epic. All of this sounds epic.
My name is Ronnie, I'm an addict, and Daddy should have never raised me on Black Sabbath.
Hang on. Gorgeous. I love the story in this. The visual efforts is phenomenal. Hard enough to create anything really in a lockdown and pandemics, but shout out them for putting something that is as visually entertaining as it is auditory, and I am grateful. This is fantastic. There is a level of composition to this that you don't see in regular rock, alternative, hardcore metal. Gets tricky when you get into symphonic metal, of course, but I use the word composition seriously here because it isn't just about placing parts of songs, it's about placing instruments within those parts. And the way that they've got little drop downs with the drone that's happening, that low kind of hum. They've also got, it sounds like a secondary piano doing some work there as well. I love how his vocals are coming in with that layering. The minute that music dips, and I think I've gone back enough to hear it, it dips really quick. You can hear the double layering on there, and it's matched up really nice. The point is to hear both layers. And it feels like nothing's a primary. It feels like they both are. It's great. Push and pull at its max.
My name is Ronnie, I'm an addict, and Daddy should have never raised me on Black Sabbath. I can feel it in my bones, coursing through my veins. When did I become so cold? For goodness sakes, where is my self-control? If home is where my heart is, then my heart has lost all. When will you mortals believe? I just want the world to believe. Lost at the sight of your blood. I swear to God, I
I gotta stop here. I pause. That's what I do. The job of this channel is to discover new music, truly appreciate it, and hopefully provide some education along the way based on my experience and background. I'm kind of blown away because when you hear The Drug in Me and then you hear The Drug in Me reimagined, you think you get it, and to a degree you do. But then they do this, and while it's similar concept, similar approach, different outcome. Find your words, buddy. The amount of layering that's happening here, I would love to see the raw tracks on this because it's pretty special. I think music is the canvas that you provided to create music on when you're recording is not infinite. It can fill up, and the job is to fill it up, but the job is also to create space at times. And knowing how to do that is, I mean, it's an art form, and they're doing it really, really well here. I like this.
So God bless all of you now, 'cause I'm going straight to hell, and I'm taking you down with me, because you know damn well.
I'm going to stop there. I just want to let it play kind of from here onwards. One thing I will say is when you're dealing with string instruments, different ball game. Guitars, the minute that pick, or if you're using your fingers, the minute you strum, that electronic resonance, it's audible, it shoots through the speakers. You can get quite an instant sound. With strings, the bow pull is different. The attack and decay on that is somewhat building, and it hits the peaks and sweet spot just when you want it to. And some of those really quick back and forth bull pose that were creating that nice lead work. It's almost like that equivalent of trim picking, if you will, but it's so much more beautiful when it's done like that. It's difficult to do, and it's done very well. Shout out these guys here with the robes, and shout out those robes.
Because you know damn
Ah, Iris, thank you, buddy.
So I sharpen my teeth, 'cause I love the way it feels when I sink into your skin and draw the only thing that's real. You don't believe me. Should I write it in blood? You better try that fucking stake right down my heart and try and run, motherfucker! I'm a vampire! Savage, savage, and life coursing through my veins, and I become so cold. Kindness, silence, my self-control. Home is where my heart is, and my heart has lost all. Heart has fucking lost all. Heart has lost
Yeah, I mean, what more do you say? A gorgeous song, executed, reinvented, revamped. beautifully. Also, just make movies, because that was visually great. I like it. I like all of it. There's nothing I don't like. A lot of what I say is opinion based, of course, because how would I know any better? But
He's great. Chase is great. I like that one. I like that.